Where are we going? Hey, what's up, guys? Have to redo my builds here. I had some technical.
All right, so yeah, we're live. Sorry, bud. So yeah, I saw your message. I wrote to Evan. We got to get that sorted out for you and make sure it works. Sorry about that.
So I just fell behind now, so I gotta redo my builds here. Yeah, I just updated the projections, but you guys don't have them. But if you're a premium subscriber, I put it into the premium Discord, so you could access it that way, or you could use Goldies, or you could use Saber Sims directly if you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm still as I run this, I'm still getting like 4,000% Arizona. So I got to deal with this in some way.
Maybe not.
Maybe we'll maybe it'll change this time. But before I just redid the projection, I was getting literally 95% Arizona. So let's just see if it changes. Oh no, now it's 98% Arizona. So I don't know exactly what to do. And as far as pitching goes, if I just live with whatever, I'm actually getting a bunch of different pitchers. The highest owned being the normal guys like Merrill Kelly, Freddie Peralta, Valdez, and then some Hunter Green. I'm getting this Bailey Falter. I'm not going to do that though. Don't need to do that. And yeah, those are the highest owned guys. So who are you using for bats?
Well, I'm mostly heavy on Seattle. I have a little bit of Toronto, but most Seattle, San Diego are my highest owned. Cincinnati, I'm using a lot of pieces more than I am full stacks. I'm going to get more of the Arizona, Oakland. I do have some Arizona right now. I actually like both sides. Where I'm not playing Merrill Kelly, I'm going to have some Oakland bats for sure in some lineups. But it's mainly Seattle, San Diego focused for me. And with Arizona probably being the next one along with Cincy. I mean, but I'm just not fully stacking Cincy. I am probably going to get to some Atlanta. I think they're going to let this kid actually pitch and see how he does for Texas. He's a high-level prospect, but he's a high-level prospect that's kind of an oddball. He doesn't throw hard. He uses a lot of off-speed stuff. And if you're not finding the zone with that against his Atlanta team, they really may make you pay. So I've come a little more onto Atlanta as a potential idea going forward, but mostly still Seattle, San Diego, then Arizona for me. How I'm curious where the ownership is going to end up on Arizona, because I actually think
they're going to be huge chalk. It just has to be.
It can't be huge though. Like I do think that they may end up being the second highest owned team, but it still could be all guys in the teens, low teens kind of a deal.
Right.
And, again, it's Oakland. It's not a great hitter's park. Even if they score like 10 runs, there's always that chance that they do it without a home run and a bunch of guys have 10 fantasy points. You know what I mean?
Now, when we were doing Seattle, what I was having trouble with Seattle was finding like lefties. I ended up with when I was trying to hand build, I was trying to put some Seattle guys in there.
Yeah.
So I would get, and the guys I would get like J.P. Crawford, and I get switch hitting Cal Raleigh, and then the other guy, I just didn't know who I was going to play. Like you didn't mind all the righties for Seattle, and Kelenic I liked.
Because Tanner Houck is a righty.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me.
No. Okay.
I mean, it's just the nature of it. Like with Seattle, they just don't have a lot of lefties.
Right.
Okay. And you've got Crawford, and I'm using Colton Wong a pretty decent amount down at the bottom of the order.
Okay, that's fair enough.
You get those two guys for cheap, and then you play them with Ty France. Even guys like Teoscar Hernandez has hit 8 home runs this year. It's not like he has no power. He's batting 7th, but I just feel like that I think I've restacked them enough ways to where there's none of them that I don't have.
Fair enough.
And look, we've seen Houck be better than we think sometimes in these situations. On that note, another guy like I am going to play some Gilbert today, just because I don't see the huge gap between a lot of top pitchers, and I just think he's a really good pitcher, and I'd rather just bet on these guys even in tough matchups. And we just talked about this the last show we did was on Friday about Bassett, and I can't get over that example that you have guys who are just good pitchers even in tough matchups, especially when they're like sometimes they're there's a weather related thing. look, if you're still if they don't make hard contact off of you in general, it's not like they're going to all of a sudden be crushing the ball just because the weather is better. So I'm willing to take a little bit of a chance on Kirby.
Did you end up playing him that night?
Bassett? Yeah, I had him in I think I had him in I don't know, two or three lineups out of I don't know, 40 or something.
That was a good call too.
But it didn't quite pay off for me because I didn't go fully there. The guys who won everything, of course, had the Bassett and Strider in the same game combination. They scored they literally they had enough to probably cash just the two of them alone. But yeah, it's a lot of it's a big slate where I feel like you could do a lot of different things. There's only a few teams that I wouldn't consider. I wouldn't stack against Framber Valdez. I wouldn't stack against Peralta.
You could stack. I think you could stack against Peralta.
I mean, you can't. It never works. The guy he doesn't get hit hard enough to where it ever seems to work. But I see that St. Louis has a good history against him, but it's not. I don't know. It just doesn't feel. I'm not doing it. I'll put it that way. Everybody else, I feel like you could pretty much stack against on this slate, except for those are the ones I would cross off. I don't want to stack Texas against Morton, but even that I wouldn't say is horrible. I don't want to stack Kansas City. But again, probably not horrible. There's just a lot. Everything makes just enough sense to me tonight, where I think you could really take either side of it. So I'm trying to keep my pool narrow and mainly playing Valdez, Kelly, Peralta, and Morton. But I'm going to mix in, Flaherty, Manoah, Kirby, Hunter Green, and Waka just to get a little bit of differentiation. And if I could play this kid for the Rangers, I would be playing him at 4K. He's just not in the pool.
Oh, okay.
He's actually the guy I would probably be pretty heavy on today. I like the guys who have never seen him before. And yeah, while there's a huge downside and it makes Atlanta maybe seem a little bit appealing, there's also a huge amount of upside without having seen the kid before. So, and it's a lefty against Atlanta. It's a little better than having a righty against Atlanta, although I don't know if that's even really accurate. It's just statistically, that's what I've got.
Yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing. It's you know what? It worked out nicely with my when I was trying to force some exposure in for some teams to take away from Arizona, and it's working out just perfectly. I'm getting Arizona with Seattle, and then I'm getting Seattle, more Seattles, and then I'm also forcing in just for fun, like I mentioned earlier, some Philly just for the hell.
Nice, yeah. How much of this Matt McClain do you have on DraftKings? Because I feel like that's something we should talk about.
I have a bunch. Let me
it's
just
hard
see.
Not to, right?
Let me just. Well, he's $2,000, right?
He's 2,000 batting second in Coors, and he's a top, a high level prospect for them. It's hard not to play him.
Let me see exactly how much I have here. Probably gonna be 100, right? Let me just see what I actually have. I can't have 100. Let's just see. Which guy? McClain?
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is I don't have that much Cincinnati exposure, and I'm such a stickler for stacking that maybe I don't have that much.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see. The Reds. McClain. What position is he?
Shortstop.
Shortstop. McClain. Let me just see. Shorts. Oh my God. Hate. Not much, dude. 14%.
Hey, okay. Under the field. I'm just now putting it in.
You know my highest though shortstop is.
Your high is going to be Crawford, no?
It's going to be Crawford.
Yeah, I like it. Hey, that's my highest on shortstop as well. So
who needs home runs? Just get on base, steal, and just survive at 2,900. Let everybody else knock you in. That's it.
Right. That's right. Let me get something fixed here real quick. I just wanted to do this. Yeah. I just think it's hard to ignore the guy at 2K. But JB Crawford is 2,900. It's not like there's a huge gap difference. No. And by the way, the hitting conditions are pretty similar.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with doing that. All right. Let's see real quick. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust some lineups here so I can make a little more sense of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I don't want to play Walker. That's just my own personal preference.
I get it. I definitely get it. He's a weird, it never feels right playing him. It just
all he does is put up ceiling. That's all he does.
I know, but it never feels right to play him. But I hear you though. It's I don't Yeah, and I like. I mean, one thing that's Merrill Kelly's been really consistent this year, and I'm willing to like. I actually have always thought like there's two sides to this one, and he's the guy I would generally like play or not play. He is a very strange pitcher in that he'll have these games where he'll go like 4 or 5 starts without walking anybody, and then he'll walk like 9 guys in his next start. Like he's strange with his control, but I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to settle in that I need to have him as my second highest owned pitcher, or actually I have him just ahead of Peralta. I don't know if that's right, but that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Yeah. It's weird with the baseball when there's no basketball to talk about also, because it's kind of like you sort of lay out everything you're doing and then that's sort of it. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, it's good. It's good for me. I can go eat.
There you go. Azuna is a one.
Oh, wait. What's the calendar like tomorrow?
It's going to be the evening slate for baseball and then one game in basketball.
No, do it. No. I want to do the live thing tomorrow night then.
Oh, you want to do it tomorrow, not Wednesday?
Right.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were going to do it Wednesday. Okay. Yeah.
No, but I thought you said Wednesdays were always
Well, they were the morning ones, but then they changed. Baseball's sort of divided it up into like two-day slates, and also because of the giant golf tournament on Thursday, I thought that's why we were going to do the Wednesday.
Oh, you know what? The only thing is that yeah, I can do it Wednesday. Let's do it Wednesday. Screw it. We'll do Wednesday.
Only because I planned a family dinner tomorrow night because I thought we were going to.
Yeah, we'll do it Wednesday. We're good. Because
Okay.
we'll have the golf thing.
Yeah. All right.
I got a little Kirby in here, sir. I'm all right.
Yeah, okay.
I'm in.
There you go. There's a guy who could end up with the highest score on the slate at like no ownership. I do sort of like I'm not opposed to the Hunter Green thing either. I wish I was getting him even lower on it. If you wanted to do like the guys who the 2 guys who might have the ceiling other than Kirby, that you want to get different with your pitching, just play Pablo Lopez and Hunter Green. And just close your eyes, don't look. You know what I mean? There's monster upside for both those guys, even though it's against the Dodgers. Pablo Lopez is a guy who could be the highest scoring pitcher on the slate. So could Hunter Green, even Manoah to some extent. Although Manoah, we just haven't seen enough of it for me to feel comfortable yet. I'm still a huge believer in his long term. I just don't know what's happening right now. Connor Brogdon, yeah. Just trying to see who else is in there. Yeah, I really would like to use that 4K picture if I could, but can't. Yes, I am Banks. I am a fan of San Diego and the single entries. I do have San Diego as one of my top. I guess they're my second favorite stack as of right now. Dubon has been batting first for the Astros all year, and this is actually about like he's been 3,600, I think, at one point, and he was down at 2K forever. He doesn't have any power. You're kind of relying on hopefully a stolen base or something. I really don't like those kind of plays as one-offs. The Nicky Lopez when he was leading off for the Royals type of play to me. A little bit better because Dubon's a little bit better, but I'm certainly not trying to play Dubon at 3,300.
Yeah, the Nick Madrigal.
Nick Madrigal is a great example, yeah. But it's, guys, fire in questions and thoughts on the slate because there are stacks that I didn't mention that, you could certainly argue for. Even though, like, I have some Kirby, I'm going to have also some Boston pieces, more playing for the home run upside and good hitting conditions. I think Houston is another team that I'm not getting to, but I don't mind if you wanted to make a full Houston stack. I think that's completely viable, just not personally able to do it myself. And, look, you're going to have a higher variance when you try to limit your number of exposures, but I feel like that's still the right thing to do. You should have some high variance in your plays. Like you don't need to, you really want to make sure that when your stack hits that you're not going, well, I played 10 lineups and 2 of my stack that team, I didn't have the right guy. I would rather you have 3 or 4 of the same kind of lineups where you're stacking it enough ways to where you always are going to have that guy.
Ooh, I can't believe I can't get both these guys. I'm between Kellenic and I can't play both Kellenic and Carroll.
It's tricky. The Seattle thing is an interesting stack because what I'm doing is Julio Rodriguez is not in my main Seattle stacks.
No,
me neither. Which is just because I'm just tired of betting on. There's tons of expensive outfielders you can plug in. He's been honestly one of the ones who struggled the most for this Seattle team this year, and the other guys have actually just been better. So that's the one thing that I wanted to throw out there. So Banks, I'm trying to understand your question because you're asking if it's okay for Austin Nola as a cheap bat, but then you also before asked about San Diego stack. So you're asking about Austin Nola as a part of the Astros stack. Like I'm not trying to play Austin Nola if I'm not playing the Padres. It's just you're not like it's just a part of the Padres stack, and he's a cheap option at catcher which is a pretty weak position at the bottom. It's the mid range with Raleigh and Stevenson is pretty strong, or the high end, I should say. But I don't think that you're not going to see that many great catching options. So I wouldn't be playing Nola as a one-off, but I do think he's a part of the San Diego stack. Yeah. Mr. Andrew must be playing cash games because I don't know what these conversations like for this one. I like Kim better, than Dubon, but I also don't really know it's hard for me to picture what you're doing as a lineup. Yes. Yeah. As part of your stack, Austin Nola is completely fine. But I don't think the 3,400 those guys are all fine. But I don't know how you're building. It must be a cash game lineup because mostly I think every one of my lineups, my second baseman is in my stacks with the exception of a little bit of Jonathan India one-off. That's really the only guy I'm using outside of a stack at second base. Oh, I'm sorry. I do have one Dubon lineup. I found one. I had exactly 3,300 left. And that's with a 5. It's a 5-2. I have 2 from Houston, so it wasn't like a total one-off.
Dubon, huh?
Well, I don't like him that much as a one-off. That's what I was saying. So I was kind of.
I don't have any of that.
At least I have him as a 2-man, not as a one-off.
Oh, maybe I do have some of that. Wait, what team is he on?
He's on Houston.
Houston. Yeah, I don't have any Houston.
Yeah. Let's see. And I for what it's worth, I wouldn't worry about weather too much tonight. I still think it's funny that you talk to people in San Diego, they'll tell you all the time that it's the best weather in the country. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. How come every game is 60 degrees or less? Seriously.
All right. I'm going to go eat.
Okay, you go eat. I'll hang out for a few more minutes, see if there's any other questions that come up. And
All right. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, Sheets. All right, guys, pop in any other questions or thoughts if you're in there. And Mr. Andrews, just clarify what you're doing with your lineups, because is that a cash game thing? Is it I have a 5-2 already and I'm trying to find a 3,400 exactly guy? Like, is there just, if you let me know, I'm happy to answer. I just can't get it figured out based on that. All right, looks like it's pretty dry. So this is what happens when there's no NBA. Usually I'll just go on a rant and I can talk forever on NBA, but there's not a whole lot to talk about left. It's getting into that time of summer, but we do have a hell of a golf tournament coming up. Sheets had a big week this week. 5-2 as a one-off. Yeah, 5-2 as a one-off. I think you're definitely okay to play Dubon if that's what you want to do. Dubon, or where's Donovan? We're in the order tonight. I'm not playing any St. Louis guys, but I think I would probably rather play. I guess Dubon and Brandon Donovan are pretty close. Just seeing if there's any. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's totally fine. I certainly wouldn't be trying to build with him in it, but if you're going to get him in, no issue with it. It's just not. It's not the way I would be. It's literally like a last piece type of thing only for me. I mean, you just look at him this whole year. He's 114 at bats against righties, no home runs, and he only has like 4 stolen bases this season. So you're just kind of counting on Houston getting there. The problem is if you're doing that, then you should probably be stacking Houston. But I don't know. I personally am not getting to very much of Dubon. And one of these days, I don't know what the hell's happened to Jose Abreu. The pricing, I mean, 2.5 is so crazy, but like it's deserved. He hasn't hit a home run. Like, I don't know if we can do it. No, I'm using Seattle and I'm very confused, but okay. Yes, I'm using Seattle and San Diego as stacks. Some of them will be together, but that's not like the thing I'm doing. No, I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. No. I have different secondary stacks mostly, but I do have some of them together. So yes and no. I guess is the answer. I have some like that, but some not. There you go, Mr. Andrew. All right, go for the. And by the way, you're definitely differentiating a little bit more by leaving a little bit on the table. Not that it matters, but leave a few hundred on the table and play the guy in the batting seventh instead of the guy leading off. Watch Dubon hit a home run for the first time against a righty this season. After I said all that, that would be kind of tilting, huh? And it's not like Kim is like this monster either, but at least there's like a little bit of pop there. He will run occasionally. It's obviously a very good matchup. Yeah. All right, guys. I think I'm probably going to get out of here because it's sort of drying up a little bit, but I appreciate seeing you guys. Good to see you guys, Mr. Andrew, Banks, and everybody else watching. Good luck. Please hit the like button before you get out of here, and let's make some money tonight. Good luck, everybody.